like Malibu High?
Well, actually, I moved out to Los Angeles after graduating at the University of Minnesota. Took all the theater arts film courses that I could. Moved out there because I was always interested in both the end, but on the producing end too. When I moved out there, I started taking some film courses at UCLA, and just so happens that my film instructor, Irv Berwick, was one of the tops in the field of making low-budget films that actually played theaters. And so a group of us got together. We actually made our little own film production company. This was within a year after moving out to Los Angeles. And we made a little film that we used students at the Brooks Institute, got a actual professional crew, raised upwards of $60,000, shot in 35 millimeter, a film called Teen Terror. And we had, within a year, we had Paramount Pictures, 20th Century Fox all looking at it, and we got picked up by Crown International Pictures, one of the biggest distributors in the world for independent films, and and ultimately within a year and a half, it's playing theaters internationally, ultimately on late night TV everywhere. So it was amazing that we did this. And I was, a production coordinator and one of the key, really, as far as producers of it, with Larry Foldis and my other partner, Tom Singer, and was directed by Irv Berwick.
And this movie was shot in?
35 millimeter.
In L.A. or? Yeah,
up in Santa Barbara,
okay.
And for the most part in Los Angeles. And it just came out on, itself finally on DVD through Grindhouse, just in the last couple of years in all the Blockbuster stores in the country.
Cool. You said you made the movie for about $60,000.
Yeah, and it went over just a little bit, but.
This is back in the 80s.
Yeah. Started in the late 70s, but would play for the next couple years, where our 60,000 would make up. Well, for example, a low-budget film like this. This is Box Office International. First 60 days of release. Back in those days, at under 400 theaters, made $2.5 million. For a film costing under $100,000. Back in those days was incredible. It still is incredible.
$10 or $15 million in today's
yeah. It ultimately would go on to make well over $10 million in its theatrical run.